I think we're all aware of all the reports that have been coming out about Andre Drummond being in trade discussions. So in today's video, we're going to talk about Drummond's worth in the trade market, possible teams, and how the league will look after. This is Retro Hoops, and let's talk about it.
Back to my pulse flat, we keep it real, no false rap. I got 4 cars and they all black, got 4 bras and they all that. We call that ballin', doing this is my calling. Flow is so appalling, my phone off and she calling. I'm like, yeah, what it do? Penthouse, man.
Andre Drummond didn't make any outstanding improvements from last year, other than a slightly better free throw percentage, as it went from 59% to 63%, which is still garbage. As of January 6th, he is averaging 17 points, 16 boards, and nearly 3 assists. He hasn't made any defensive improvements to his IQ and skill. He's still just a paint protector and another body down low. He's good at rebounding. I mean, we all know that about him. He's a great rebounder. Maybe, at the end of his career, we'll say he's one of the best. Who knows? But he can only be effective on offense with just pick and rolls. You can't pass it to him in the post. He doesn't have that type of skill. As you can probably tell by now, I don't really think too highly of him. But I know there are definitely teams out there that do and will probably be willing to give him the max. We'll begin by talking about the several teams that have already shown interest or have been reported to show interest into Andre Drummond. One of them being the Atlanta Hawks, having the most interest. I don't know why. With John Collins, he's shown some life, to hit 3 in the corner, maybe one day be able to, be consistent out there. But as of right now, no, I still don't trust in his shot enough where I want to slide Andre Drummond in, because the spacing would just be awful. Maybe Trae Young and Andre Drummond pick and rolls would be, pretty cool. Might be something to explore, but as of just spacing with everything else, the team in whole, not really. Speaking of Trae Young, if the earlier reports are true and he's frustrated with the team, how he doesn't have any help and how the team has been losing when he's having basically an MVP year, maybe I understand, getting Drummond, but there's no reason to rush because Trae Young, he's still in his rookie contract. He still has a few years left in, and of course you're not going to move him, even if you request a trade, but even though he probably won't, because most rookies don't request a trade, because they can't, or they shouldn't. Well, if this trade was going to happen, how would it look? Well, the Hawks would probably have to give up Chandler Parsons and a protected pick, probably top 5 protected. This is a case where if the Pistons are going complete rebuild, which if they're trying to trade Andre Drummond, they probably want to go on a complete rebuild. Parsons will be off the books at the end of the season, and the pick it's protected, but it's a pick. Another version of a trade if the Pistons are still trying to be good in the East, even though they shouldn't. They're one of the worst teams. One of the trades they could get is Allen Crabbe, Alex Len, and probably a pick. First, probably, of course, protected, but this, not a good one, but if they were going to trade for the Hawks, this is how it'd be. Crabbe is still a good shooter and a servable center as Alex Len, who is actually doing pretty good with the Hawks. So I don't know why they would want to trade him, but if they want Andre Drummond that badly, they probably do that. Another team that was reported was this Boston Celtics, who desperately need a big. Drummond, fills out all the Celtics' needs, rebounding, and rebounding. So, yeah, that's really what the Celtics really need to compete, is a big center who can grab boards. Because when you're going up against Joel Embiid, Pascal Siakam, and Giannis, you best believe you need someone big down there protecting that paint. But in my opinion, I don't think the Celtics should go for him, as I think Dwayne Dedmon for the Sacramento Kings would be probably a better pick. He can stretch the floor. He's a great rebounder, averages like 10-7. And he's already been reported that he wants out. So it'd probably be perfect, but who knows? How would the trade look like? The Celtics would have to trade Hayward and like Semi Ojeleye or Carson Edwards. It doesn't matter between the two, but one of those guys. I don't think this would happen though, seeing how much Danny Ainge and Brad Stevens love Gordon Hayward. So I don't see this trade happening, and the money wouldn't work for Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum, even though I don't see them being part of any type of trade anytime soon. Another team is the Dallas Mavericks. There's a few trade possibilities, but they seem to be pretty bad for both sides. In one trade, the Mavs would have to give up Tim Hardaway Jr., Maxi Kleber, or Courtney Lee. I mean, Tim Hardaway, he's alright. He's having a decent year. Got some good scoring stats, but he's a shooter that can fit right next to Luka. So I don't really see the reason to do that. And you're possibly giving up two shooters, Tim Hardaway and Courtney Lee, both shooting guard positions. I know you got Seth Curry, but it's still going to be a little weak on the shooting guard position. Maxi Kleber, I like him. For Drummond pairing next to Porzingis would be interesting. Porzingis being a great defender, Drummond being a great rebounder. It could be a nice little combo. But I just don't see the reason to. I understand Luka is basically having an MVP season, but it doesn't mean go for a title this season. Because they shouldn't. They're not in the race for it. The last team that was talked about was the Toronto Raptors. I think this one is the most likely and probably be the best out of the three other teams I said. Because this one, they would just have to move Marc Gasol, who's expiring, and probably just a pick for Andre Drummond. For both sides, it somewhat works. Marc Gasol is not really having a good year. He's also expiring. So Detroit don't really have to, use him. With Drummond, for this side, because the Toronto Raptors, they're a fast-paced offense. Pascal, they got the, I forgot the other guy's name, Boucher. Sorry, I'm definitely butchering his name, but there's some court runners. And I don't know if Drummond will be able to do all that. I think it would just be like another Utah Jazz type of situation where they have to slow down the offense just for Rudy Gobert to get back. I think they would have to do the same thing unless they're okay with Andre Drummond being left behind, which it's all up on Nick Nurse to decide that. But that would be an interesting team. They would still have Serge coming off the bench, and it probably, I think that's why I think it's the best matchup between the trades. But I'm not saying it's an amazing trade. Now I'm just going to add a few teams that I think could get involved, because you just never know. Like last year, when we were talking about Jimmy Butler, what teams he could go to, be traded to, 76ers were not an option. Like, I never heard anything about the 76ers. Then out of nowhere, Jimmy gets traded to the 76ers. Then it happened with Tobias Harris to 76ers. It might just because it's the 76ers, but I don't know. There's always teams where it's unexpected for them to get out, do it. So the other teams, I would say the Sacramento Kings. They need a center, or not a center, but they need to change like right now. Their season is pretty disappointing as of now. I know De'Aaron Fox has been in and off the court like for the season so far, but I didn't expect this from them right now, from last season. I expected more. I'm pretty sure they expected more. I think the organization expected more. I think the whole problem is Luke Walton. It's just his style doesn't fit the team. I know it could easily be because De'Aaron Fox is not on the court that often, but I think it's Luke Walton. But if they want to do like trade, to get the team, the players better, then Andre Drummond would be a decent pick. Dwayne Dedmon would probably be in the trade. And then probably Harrison Barnes to make the contract match. And then maybe a pick. It's up to them. Another team, LA Clippers. I've been hearing this team in and out, but I also agree this could work. If they really want to set them apart where they are the contenders, or, they are already contenders, but determined champions. Number one spot, because right now it's wishy-washy between them and the Lakers. And right now, personally, I love the Clippers, but right now it's looking like the Lakers could pull ahead, and so this could be something they want to make a change to make sure. Andre Drummond has a player option, so he could be off the books next year, and they could trade Harrell for him. Seeing how Harrell's also going to be free agent next year, they would probably have to give up Maurice Harkless and probably another person, but it isn't that bad. Another team, San Antonio Spurs. Same case for the Kings. They are pretty disappointing right now. I don't know. It's for them. LA and DeMar. Those two aren't it. If they're still trying to go for a championship while they have Greg Popovich here, grabbing Andre Drummond could be good. You would have to trade either DeMar or LA, which I'm not quite sure if I'll say which one is the best fit next to Andre. Probably LA, because he can maybe, it's hard to say, but they probably would try to get involved just to change things up before Popovich, retires. Which I believe if they don't make the playoffs this year, I think this would be his last year. Well, that's going to be it for today. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like. And down in the comments, tell me, who do you think Andre Drummond's going to be traded to? Or if he's going to be traded. I like to hear your opinions and want to see what y'all think. Thank you. Thank you again for watching. Enjoy your day. See you guys next time. Peace.
I seen a lot of shit I shouldn't have, but never forgot it though. Brothers on the corner selling crack like it was not a though. Walk inside my kitchen, baking soda all up on the floor. Police banging on the door while gripping the 44. I was just a youngin', but this type of shit I seen before.